The first light of dawn broke over the Redstone Plains, casting a golden glow across John Parker's 200-acre Texas ranch, the rolling hills stretching wide under a sky streaked with gold and pink. The lake shimmering like molten silver in the distance, its surface rippling gently with the morning breeze, the wildflowers along the pasture's edge blooming in vibrant hues of yellow and purple, their delicate petals trembling against the vast expanse of the untamed land. At 54, John had turned his ranch into a sanctuary of sorts, a place of healing for broken spirits, both human and animal. The ancient oaks dotting the landscape, standing like silent sentinels, their gnarled branches heavy with the weight of history. The air thick with the scent of fresh grass and cedar, the faint lowing of cattle blending with the distant call of a hawk soaring overhead, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. After bonding with the wolf pack, John had hoped for a season of peace, but the burn scar on his forearm throbbed with a dull ache as he rose from his bed, his old bones protesting the morning chill, knowing the wild always had more lessons to teach, the wildflowers enduring despite the storms that had come before. Through the kitchen window, John spotted his grandson, Ethan, already outside, sitting quietly near a paddock at the ranch's eastern edge, the boy's sketchbook open on his lap, filled with detailed drawings of Shadow. A magnificent Mustang with a dark coat that shimmered like polished ebony, who had arrived at the ranch 6 months ago, a frightened creature who'd known only pain and mistrust at human hands. The lake glowing gold as the sun climbed higher, its calm a stark contrast to the tension knotting John's gut. "Morning, kid," John said softly, carrying a tray with breakfast to where Ethan sat. The boy not responding immediately, but offering a small smile, the first genuine one since the cartel's attack on Redstone, a smile that warmed John's heart. "Thought you might be hungry." Setting down the tray, noting how Ethan's fingers traced the lines of Shadow's portrait with careful precision, the wildflowers along the paddock trembling in the breeze. The plains pulsing with the weight of history, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Ethan's journey had been as challenging as Shadow's. The cartel's assault, the fear of losing his family, had stolen his voice, not physically, but emotionally, retreating in his silence, finding solace only in drawing and observing the world from a safe distance. The lake shimmering faintly beyond the ridge, its surface a mirror of the hope that endured. John watched him now, choosing his words carefully. "You know, Ethan, Shadow and you have more in common than you think," pausing, giving the boy time to process. "Both of you came through something dark, scared, broken." Another pause. "But look at him now. He's learning to trust again," Ethan's pencil hovering over the paper, then slowly continuing its movement through the window of the nearby barn, Shadow watching them, his ears flicking forward with interest, the transformation in the Mustang remarkable, though still cautious, a new light in his eyes, a spark of curiosity replacing constant fear. The wildflowers along the barn's edge trembling in the morning light, their colors vibrant in the Texas sun, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Later that morning, as sunlight warmed the earth, Ethan found himself standing closer to Shadow's paddock than ever before, the Mustang approaching cautiously, stopping just out of reach. John holding his breath, watching from a distance as Ethan extended his hand, palm up, offering a piece of apple, Shadow hesitating, nostrils flaring as he processed this new development. "That's it," John whispered, knowing better than to interrupt. After what felt like an eternity, Shadow, lowering his head, touching his velvet-soft muzzle to Ethan's palm. A single tear escaping John's eye as he witnessed the breakthrough, the beginning of a connection that would change both their lives forever, the lake glowing silver in the distance. Its calm a testament to the peace John had won. Through the following weeks, a routine developed between Ethan and Shadow. Each morning, Ethan, sitting by the paddock, sketching the Mustang's form while offering small treats. Slowly Shadow, associating his presence with comfort rather than fear, their bond deepening through shared silences, a mutual understanding. A language beyond words that spoke directly to their wounded souls. The wildflowers along the paddock trembling in the breeze, the plains pulsing with the weight of survival. Their roots deep in the Texas soil. One afternoon, as storm clouds gathered on the horizon, Ethan faced his greatest challenge yet, Shadow, growing restless. His old fears resurfacing with the approaching thunder, rather than retreating. Ethan moving closer, his small frame dwarfed by the powerful animal, John watching anxiously from the barn doorway, ready to intervene if needed, the moment stretching taut like a bowstring, Shadow's muscles bunching, preparing to bolt, but Ethan remaining steady, his hand extended in silent reassurance. Lightning flashing in the distance, followed by a low rumble of thunder, Shadow's ears flattening, but instead of fleeing, pressing closer to Ethan, seeking comfort rather than escape. John exhaling shakily, realizing he'd been holding his breath through the rain that began to fall, watching as Ethan wrapped his arms around Shadow's neck, whispering soft assurances. The Mustang responding by resting his head on Ethan's shoulder, his body trembling slightly, but remaining grounded through the storm, the lake glowing silver in the distance. It's come a beacon of the peace John fought for. This pivotal moment marked a turning point in their relationship, where once there had been fear and mistrust, now growing understanding and partnership. As days turned into weeks, Ethan beginning to take measured steps toward riding Shadow, each success building upon the last, their progress not linear. Setbacks and moments of doubt arising, but their connection remaining steadfast, the wildflowers along the pasture's edge trembling in the evening light, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Word of their remarkable journey spread throughout Redstone. Local newspapers running features about the silent boy and the once dangerous Mustang finding healing together. Visitors arriving at the ranch, hoping to catch a glimpse of this extraordinary pair. Among them Dr. Clara Hensley, a veterinarian with a background in equine behavior. "I've reviewed your notes," Clara said during her initial visit. "Watching as Ethan worked with Shadow in a round pen, what you're accomplishing here could change how we rehabilitate traumatized Mustangs." Making careful notes as Ethan demonstrated their communication methods, subtle hand signals, body language, Shadow responding with growing confidence, the lake shimmering faintly beyond the ridge, its surface a mirror of the hope that endured. Their work caught the attention of influential figures beyond Redstone, Elena Martinez, the environmental writer who documented John's bond with the Mustang herd, returning to the ranch after hearing of Ethan and Shadow's success, moved by what she witnessed, offering to connect the Parkers with a foundation focused on equine therapy, her support enabling John to expand the ranch's mission, rescuing more Mustangs and developing programs for children facing similar traumas as Ethan, the wildflowers along the barn's edge trembling in the breeze, the plains pulsing with the weight of history, their roots deep in the Texas soil. As summer gave way to fall, preparations began for a significant demonstration at the Redstone Harvest Festival, an event to showcase not just Ethan and Shadow's achievements, but also highlight the ranch's groundbreaking rehabilitation methods. Nervous excitement buzzing through the Parker family as they prepare to share their story with a wider audience. The lake glowing gold outside as the last rays of dusk faded. The wildflowers enduring despite the storm, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The day of the demonstration arrived crisp and clear. Perfect September weather drawing large crowds to the Redstone Fairgrounds. John driving the ranch's truck with Shadow's trailer attached, Ethan sitting beside him, reviewing his notes. His usual quiet demeanor masking the butterflies fluttering in his stomach. "It's okay to be a little scared," John assured, glancing at the boy's rapid page-turning. Shadow probably feels the same way, Ethan nodding slightly, though his grip on the notebook tightened, both knowing this public appearance represented more than just a performance. It was validation of their hard work, proof that patience could overcome the deepest wounds. The wildflowers along the road trembling in the morning light, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. At the fairgrounds, anticipation crackled in the air, spectators filling the stands surrounding the small arena, many drawn by the compelling story of the boy and the Mustang. Among them Sheriff Hargrove, a former skeptic of the ranch's methods, now watching with keen interest, the atmosphere buzzing with whispered conversations and camera clicks as Ethan led Shadow into the arena, a hush falling over the crowd. The Mustang, sensing the unusual environment, tensing momentarily, but relaxing under Ethan's calming touch, the lake glowing silver in the distance, its calm a testament to the peace John had won. Ethan began their demonstration with simple exercises, gradually building to more complex maneuvers. With each successful task, Shadow's confidence growing, responding to Ethan's subtle cues with increasing enthusiasm. When Ethan finally mounted Shadow, guiding him through a pattern around the arena, the audience erupting in spontaneous applause. Shadow, startling briefly, quickly settling under Ethan's reassuring hand, dismounting smoothly, stroking the Mustang's neck with affection before turning to face the crowd. For the first time since the cartel's attack, speaking directly to an audience, he wasn't scared at all, saying his voice soft but clear, addressing John's earlier concerns, the words, though simple, carrying profound meaning. John crossing the distance between them in 3 strides, enveloping his grandson in a fierce hug, tears flowing freely down his weathered cheeks as he realized the full extent of their achievement. You both did it, whispering, his voice thick with emotion. You saved each other. The wildflowers along the arena, trembling in the breeze, the plains pulsing with the weight of survival, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The magnitude of this truth resonated through the Redstone community. What had begun as an attempt to rehabilitate a traumatized horse evolving into something far greater, a testament to the power of patience, trust, and unconditional support. In the aftermath of their success, opportunities flowing into the ranch, universities expressing interest in formal research partnerships, recognizing the potential of their methods to transform equine rehabilitation practices, the ranch expanding its mission, developing programs specifically designed to help traumatized children through interaction with rescued Mustangs. Ethan's journey from silence to speaking becoming a cornerstone of these new initiatives, his insights communicated through both words and actions, guiding the development of therapeutic approaches that emphasized understanding over judgment, patience over force, the lake shimmering faintly beyond the ridge, its surface a mirror of the hope that endured. The Shadow Scholarship, funded by Elena's Foundation, allowed other children facing similar challenges to benefit from the ranch's unique environment. The wildflowers along the pastures' edge trembling in the evening light, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. As seasons changed and the ranch flourished, Ethan and Shadow continued their work, becoming ambassadors for their respective communities, their story serving as living proof that no soul was beyond reach when approached with kindness, that no spirit was too broken to mend when given time and space to heal in its own way, at its own pace. The expanded ranch welcoming more traumatized horses and wounded children, each bringing their own unique needs and challenges. Yet thanks to Ethan and Shadow's pioneering journey, now having a proven framework for healing, one built on the simple truth that sometimes the most powerful connections form when we meet each other not in strength, but in vulnerability, not in certainty, but in trust. The wildflowers along the barn's edge trembling in the breeze, the plains pulsing with the weight of history, their roots deep in the Texas soil. On a quiet evening, as stars emerged in the Texas sky, John reflected on their journey. The cartel's storm had brought them together, a desperate gamble on a traumatized horse and a silent boy, finding his voice, transforming into something beautiful. The ranch's lights glowing warmly against the night, illuminating a path forward for horses and humans alike. The lake glowing silver in the distance, its calm a testament to the peace John had won. Their story offered a precious reminder in a world that often valued speed over depth, compliance over connection, that with enough patience and understanding, even the most frightened hearts could learn to trust again. In this truth lying their greatest success, not just in healing individual wounds, but in creating a model of hope and possibility that could ripple outward, touching countless lives yet unknown. The moral of their journey simple yet profound. True healing requires more than just treating surface wounds. It demands creating conditions where trust can grow naturally, where fear can transform into courage through patient understanding. As Ethan and Shadow had shown, sometimes the most powerful medicine isn't force or intervention, but simply being present, allowing time for healing to unfold in its own rhythm. The wildflowers along the fields blooming anew, their colors vibrant in the Texas night, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, their roots deep in the Texas soil. The crew gathered in the yard, coffee steaming in mugs, the air thick with the scent of roasted beans and the faint tang of hay that clung to their clothes. Ethan slouched in a chair, his face steady, trust forged in the silence's fire. The map spread wide across the table, the eastern paddock marked in green ink, a testament to the day's triumph. The lantern light casting long shadows over their weary faces, the lake glowing gold outside as the last rays of dusk faded, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, wildflowers battered but enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. Shadow spoke. Frank said, leaning back, his pistol gleaming on his hip, his voice gravelly but sure. Ethan answered, Grayson won't like that. Mary Ellen poured coffee, her hand firm, her voice edged with steel. Bond's a sign. Your heart's a wall, John. We'll stand. Jake grinned, his fists unclenching, dust still smudged on his face. They healed, Ethan too. He's strong now. Sarah nodded from the corner, her phone glowing with Elena's last update. Her voice resolute. Story's out. Hope's alive. We'll keep it growing. Matt tapped his laptop, fingers pausing as he met John's gaze. His tone sharp. Grayson's watching, saw the festival. I'll dig. Won't stop till we know. Tom stood by the door, lantern dimming. His broad frame a silent pillar, his voice low but firm. I'll watch the ridge. Plains are calm, but eyes ain't. John met Ethan's gaze across the table. The boy's eyes steady despite the weight of the day, his hands still steady from the bond, and John's voice cut through the room like steel tempered in fire. You spoke today, found your voice. Like a Parker. That's good. Keep it up, Ethan. The healing's just the start. We've got more coming. Ethan swallowed hard, nodding slow, his voice quiet but raw. I will, Dad, swear it. No more hiding. The room fell silent, the lake glowing silver outside as the night deepened, the plains stretching wide and unbroken, wildflowers battered but enduring, their roots deep in the Texas soil. John rose, rifle close, stepping onto the porch where the air smelled of earth and renewal, his eyes scanning the ridge where Ethan and Shadow had stood. The memory of their triumph a warm weight on his heart, the legacy of his past a bond he'd carry until the end. Across the horizon, a light blinking, binoculars catching the starlight, then vanishing into the trees, a shadow still breathing in the darkness, a reminder that the fight was far from over, the wildflowers along the plains' edge blooming anew, their colors vibrant in the Texas night, the lake glowing silver in the distance, its calm a testament to the peace John had won, but the storm on the horizon a promise of battles yet to come.